Alright y'all, welcome to the video. Had to get my bags, got a little bit distracted. I went to Target, but I am proud to say that I only got what I came in there for. I can't remember the last time that's happened. But anyways, you already know where we are. We are at Trader Joe's. In today's video, I want to talk about everything that I eat, how I meal prep for a 3-day trip. Not a fake 3-day trip, a real 3-day trip. We've got a fully packed trip. On this trip, I'm not going to buy any food. I'm not going to buy any drink. I'm not going to buy anything except groceries, and I'm going to bring all my food with me, and I'm going to show y'all how I do that. So first things first, the trip is tomorrow. We got to get our environmentally friendly bags, okay, because we care about the planet. Oh, there we go. And go in here and get a few groceries real quick. Good morning. It is the day of my trip, and it is 5:30 in the morning. Another way I prepare to go on a long trip, I know that I'm going to be tired, that things could happen. I might not have time, so I always try to get a workout in before my trip. So right now I'm at the pool. I'm going to go swim for about 45 minutes before work. So that's going to be a good little workout, and I might do a little something when I get back. But yeah, not only is it a workout, but it is helping me get closer to my goals. From some of the comments on the last video, I think some of you got the impression that I'm just casually learning how to swim. I'm really trying to learn technique. I'm working on the freestyle stroke right now, and it is a lot harder than it looks. Just trying to get your head out of the water, timing your breathing correctly and rotating and all that good stuff. If you're a swimmer, you know what I'm talking about, but it's a lot to learn, and I'm a noob. So I'm only working with my coach about once a week. But if I really want to improve and I really want to accomplish my goals, I have to step outside of practice and work on it on my own, and that's what I'm doing. So let's get up early and achieve our goals. I will see y'all in a bit. Oh, it was tight, but I got a seat. See you in Newark. She's going to work. All right, so I made it to Newark. Had a little surprise when I got here. My hot sauce exploded in my bag, so just clean that up. Hot sauce everywhere, but I've got less than 2 hours until I have to be at the gate for my next flight. So first meal I'm gonna have now that I'm here is just a salad, nothing crazy. Salad with some lightly smoked mussels. Might seem kind of gross, but these are really good. Trader Joe's just started carrying these, and I've been putting them in my salad. So I've got that and a banana muffin. So that's what I'm gonna have to start. I have some ginger sesame dressing here for the salad, and I'm gonna sit here and eat and relax, and then I'm gonna go to the crew room and brush, floss, mouthwash, because don't think we need to say anything else really about that. All right, y'all, we gotta hurry up and board. I am all teeth brushed, floss, mouthwash, all that good stuff. I will see y'all in Seattle. Yeah, pray for me. Wow, it has been a long, periodically time since I have had the strength to debrief after a trip. It's been a long, long time. Anywho, I'm in Seattle finally. The room is just regular, man. Nothing special, what we're working with. And there's actually no view out the window except for I'm like in the middle of a hotel. So that's that. We do have a refrigerator, and yes, it is in fact cold, so it's a good day. Whoo, y'all, I gotta stop doing these transcons. I've been doing transcons for almost 2 months now, just every single trip, just because they're so commutable. It's a late check-in, so I can commute in a little bit later, and then early arrival, so I get back to Newark early in the morning, so I can more easily catch a flight home back to Charlotte. But y'all, these transcons are these transcons are sucking my soul. Like, so exhausting. The flights last so long. This flight was 5 hours and 36 minutes. Too long for me to be on a plane just to go to Seattle. Like, if we were going, you know, a cute little international trip, it'd be a little bit more worth it. But even then, it's just exhausting. Like, it's the time change for me. That's what it is. It's the time change. It is past midnight on the East Coast right now, and I woke up at 4:30 this morning. So I've been up for almost 24 hours. So I'm tired, but day one, getting prepared for a trip is usually a little bit more hectic. I usually try to meal prep the day before so that I don't have to worry about it the day of my trip. I don't normally meal prep the morning of my trip, but I knew I was gonna have to wake up so early this morning that I just saved it. So packed a little bit of my stuff, and then I spent about an hour and a half this morning after my nap, after my swim, which my nap was only supposed to be an hour, but it ended up being like 2 hours. I don't know when I'm going to get through my head that if I snooze my alarm for an hour, every 10 minutes for an hour, then I'm not actually getting any more rest. I'm just torturing myself for an additional hour. So maybe I should stop doing that, but I'm working on it. I'm an alarm snoozer though. I snooze my alarm at least one time every single morning, at least once. Yeah. I'm working on that though. Usually I'll set my alarm 10 minutes before I'm gonna get up because I know I'm gonna snooze my alarm. Anyways, so yeah, my meal prep took an hour and a half, and for me, it's worth it. It's worth taking that time to cook food, knowing what I'm eating, getting to have healthy food. My main thing with the meal prep situation is, yes, I want to save money, but also I want to know what I'm eating. I want to be able to eat healthy. You can really get caught up in eating fast food all the time with this job because you're just always away from home. All you have access to is hotel food, Uber Eats, airport food, and it's just a lot of mystery food that you really don't know what's in it, and you don't know how it's being prepared. You don't know who's preparing it. Bon appetit. And just for me personally, and my body tends to act extremely violently towards things that it doesn't like sugar in particular. Sugar is a big one. Sugar, alcohol, fried foods. I haven't been to Bojangles in over 6 months. Someone please help me. So just stuff like that. So I'm not gonna sit here in front like I meal prep just for the fun of it. One of the main reasons I do it is to make sure that I'm gonna be okay. So if you're normal and you can eat normal food, what I want you to do right now for me is to get in your car. I want you to go to Bojangles. I want you to get a Cajun filet biscuit with Cajun fries and a sweet tea, and an extra biscuit too, and extra fries. And I want you to just enjoy it for me. Don't eat too fast. Nice and slow, chew, digest the food. And I just want you to have a little itty bitty thought about me in your mind. I just want you, okay, I'm tired. Anywho, I'll talk a little bit more about the meal prep situation. I'll show y'all exactly everything I brought. Day one, and I have spent exactly $0.00, and I haven't even bought a coffee or a tall chai tea latte with almond milk from Starbucks. So talk to y'all in the morning. Good night. Good morning, everybody. Y'all, when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, I've still got probably like 3 hours of sleep. Woke up 2 hours before my alarm went off. So we're gonna start off our morning with a little juice shot from Trader Joe's. This is the Mighty Acerola. It's a cherry shot, it's supposed to have lots of vitamin C in it. Contains 100% juice, vitamins. You understand what I'm saying. So I've been trying to take one of these every day of my trip. I didn't take one yesterday, but cheers. Ooh, even had a little ice crystal in it. Taking one of those every morning. I don't know if it really helps, but it could be in the mind. But it at least makes me think that I'm starting off the day, getting something in the system to protect myself from all the germs that I encounter on my job. So that's step one. I've got about, why is this lighting weird? Oh my God. Okay, whatever. So I've got about 40 minutes until it's time for me to go to the van to the airport. This is my really short layover of the trip. Really wish I had another couple hours, but it is what it is. This was a 12-hour layover. So that's why yesterday I made sure I got a workout in, because I knew that today I wasn't gonna do anything. When I have a short layover like this, my main priority is to rest. I'm also a little bit stuffy, if you can tell, because I think it's because I've been swimming and now it's getting cold. So I've been swimming in a heated pool, but it's outside and it's cold. So I think it's just that, getting used to, chlorine just going everywhere, swallowing chlorine. I just think It's got me a little bit stuffy, so I'm really trying to be careful. I need to keep all my energy because we have a long day ahead of us. So let's talk about breakfast. For breakfast, we need something quick, we need something easy because we gotta go soon. So I've got myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right here, as well as plantain chips. So I'm gonna have that for breakfast. I normally make myself one peanut butter and jelly sandwich, one for each day of the trip. So this is 3 days, I have 3 of these. I didn't eat one yesterday, I just didn't have time. So I might have 2 of these today, but I'm gonna have one right now. And I just bring them in these reusable Ziploc bags. You can get these at Target, you can get these at TJ Maxx or Amazon, just whatever's easiest. I'll leave the link down in the description below, but I'm trying to save the environment, okay? The earth is burning before our eyes, so I have been loving using these reusable Ziploc bags, and you can get them in all different sizes. So that's breakfast. So for dinner last night, I didn't show you guys, but I had my first portion of rice and vegetables that you saw me cook earlier in the vlog, a little something like this. This will be my dinner today as well. Let me show y'all now. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have, but it's just brown rice and vegetables, peppers, onions, garlic, what else? Mushrooms, nothing crazy. I'm gonna have to actually put it in this container. This is where the other portion was in yesterday. So this is a Pyrex container. I definitely get some of these if you are a commuter, if you're a meal prepper. I'll leave a link in the description to everything I'm talking about, but Pyrex containers are oven safe, they are microwave safe, they are indestructible, and they're just a must have. I've had mine for almost the whole time that I've had this job. My mom got them for me, I believe, as a Christmas gift my first year as a flight attendant. No damage to them, never chipped, never had anything happen to them. So get you some Pyrex containers. That way you can use the oven on the plane to cook your food, and you just always have a container with me. I always bring one of these and just reuse it for everything. So this container actually is not oven safe, but it's very, very airtight, more airtight than the Pyrex containers, as you can see. Snaps like that. I actually found these in a box beside my neighbor's house. There was a box that said, hey, these are free, take them if you want them. And I said, free? Okay, so I took them and I've been using them and I love them, but they are not, like I said, oven safe. They're microwave safe, but I'm gonna have to transfer my food to my Pyrex container when it's time for me to eat, because I'm gonna have to use the oven on the plane. So what else? I have a few other snacks. I'll show y'all what I'm snacking on throughout the day. Also have one slice of leftover pizza that I'm gonna end up eating today. This is a great thing to pack, leftovers, just stuff that you like. So I'm really looking forward to this at some point. I'm probably gonna use this when I'm at an emotional low, something to give me a pick-me-up, something to give me a pick-me-up. So saving this for emergencies. So we are starting day 2 and we are going to spend absolutely no money today. I will show y'all more throughout the day as we go on. All right, we're on the big girl today, 787 Dreamliner from San Francisco to Chicago. See y'all later. It's not even lukewarm, it's just above lukewarm. But y'all, I'm here in San Francisco, about to start my second flight of the day. What I just did back there is one of my favorite ways to get water. I don't really like to drink the water off the plane unless I absolutely have to, but I do have to stay hydrated, so I love using those machines in the airport. Shout out to SFO, they always have those all over the place. Some airports don't have them, like Newark. Enough about Newark. Let's talk about San Francisco and how if I didn't meal prep, I would be spending a pretty penny to buy food here to eat. This is one of the most expensive cities in the United States. I don't know if it's one of the most in the world, but it is. Everybody knows San Francisco is expensive. Even if you just get a coffee, it's going to cost you anywhere from $5 to $7, especially if you want like a non-dairy milk or an extra shot of espresso, which if you're a flight crew you need. This place you can get a coffee for $4, just black coffee, $4. So I feel like that's a lot for just a black coffee. If you want to get a sandwich, forget about it, it's going to be like $14. If you want to get a roll of sushi, I know for a fact that that's like $15 or $16 after tax for one roll, not two. Just one. Who only eats one roll of sushi? I need at least 2, maybe 2.5. But one of the big appeals to meal prep, no surprise, is the money you save. What I see a lot of flight attendants doing to save money is they'll only eat like 1 meal a day, or sometimes they don't eat at all, or sometimes they'll do right and they'll eat like maybe 2 meals a day, but you gotta eat. You can't go all day without eating, and 1 meal a day is not enough for anybody, especially when you're working and running around. So it can kind of snowball, because if you have, let's say, 2 trips a week, and let's say that's 2-day trips, so you need to buy meals for 4 days. If you buy 2 meals a day, that can be $40 a day, and it just adds up and adds up and adds up, and before you know it, then you're like, well, where's my money at? You ate it all at the airport. So I've definitely had phases of this job where I've just bought all my food on the go, but for the most part, in 8 years, I have meal prepped at least a little bit. I think that's a good idea. Some people bring like their breakfast every day, and they'll buy like their lunch at the airport. Some people buy coffee every day, but that can add up, and I would rather put the $6 a day that I'm going to spend on a coffee in my savings account. I think that's a much better idea, but we'll talk more about the money in a bit. I have got about 10 minutes till I have to be at my gate, and so I'm going to take my free water and hoof it to the gate. One thing I will say is on the flight, I ate a RX bar. So far I've had a PB&J, plantain chips, and an RX bar. But when I get on the plane, I'm gonna have a sweet potato and that portion of rice and vegetables that you saw. This is our longest flight of the day, so I'm gonna eat my biggest meal of the day on this flight. So that's gonna be my dinner, and I might have another little snacks. I might eat this right now too. These are the best, just bringing little bars like this. This apple and banana bar is really good. These are really good, but anyways, I need to decompress, walk slowly to my gate, relax, listen to some music, and I will see y'all in a bit. Alright, finally made it. I was able to eat my 1 slice of pizza and that that apple and banana bar I showed y'all earlier, but that flight went by pretty quick. It was about 4 hours, very busy. We were running around the whole entire time. So now we're here. I also delayed. So now we're here working our last flight of the day. That was our hardest flight, the last one, so it should be smooth sailing from here. We are doing Chicago to Rochester, so short flight, and then we are at our hotel. Y'all, I need to be there now. So since this is such a short flight, I'm going to be able to use the oven on this flight for my sweet potato. So I'm gonna have that for dinner, as well as this frozen burrito. We were running around the last flight pretty much the whole entire time, and I didn't have time to eat anything except for that fruit bar. So that's another thing, like especially on domestic, you don't have a designated break like you do on international, where you'll have anywhere from 30 minutes of crew rest to up to, I've heard of like people having like 6 hours crew rest on like the really long flights. On domestic, you pretty much just have to eat when you can. That's why it's important to have just stuff that you can eat quickly, which is why it's really tempting to eat out all the time, because you really don't have time to be cooking, but it can be done. So instead of making my other portion of rice and vegetables this time, I'm just gonna pop this burrito in the oven. A short flight, and that's something that I can eat quickly and something that can just give me sustenance, because your girl's gotta eat. Yeah, just want to show y'all my dinner. Still have spent $0.00 on day 2. World's quickest room tour. Here's the room. We got the bed, my scarf, my pillowcase, and my camera case. A little couch right here. I said there was a fridge in here. This must be it. Let's see if it's actually cold. It is cold. Great. All right. It is 12:48 on the East Coast, and I have been up since 9:30 on the East Coast, so it's been a long day. As you can tell, I am even more congested now than I was earlier today. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it short. So it's been a long day. We really haven't had a break today. We haven't had a break today. We've had 3 flights today, and we've only had, because of delays, the most we had was about 30 minutes in between our first flight and our second flight, just to rest or do anything. So yeah, that's how today went. That's how a lot of days go. You just have to really be very strategic and plan when you're gonna eat and what you're gonna eat and how you're gonna eat it. It's just, the thing is, like, you can go all day without a break, and at the very most, flight attendants will only get provided with like 1 meal, and you just have to find ways to eat and to keep yourself awake. Once you have been doing the job for a while, you learn how to time everything as perfectly as you can. The customers come first, so you got to take care of the customers first, make sure that they're good, and then you can eat. A lot of times crew members will take turns, so like if I'm eating, another flight attendant will be like covering the cabin, and then when I'm finished eating, then we'll switch. It's not really a rule, it's like an unspoken thing, but it's common decency, really. We have to make sure that the cabin is covered and all the customers are taken care of. We can't just be, sitting there eating and, people are
ring in their call lights. So yeah, we try to work together to take care of each other. I'm sure it's like that in other jobs where you're pretty much working and you're on your feet all day and you don't really get a break. This job is just super hard because you're working, you're on your feet all day, but you're also sleeping in a different city every night, so you kind of have to rely on things around you, restaurants, and so it's a very tempting place to be, to just find yourself in a situation where you're eating out so much. But I'll talk a little bit more later. I can't stand how my voice sounds right now. My nose is so, like, I am so congested, like my crew member invited me to go out, and I would go out. She's cool, but I just do not feel good right now. I don't sound good, and I just want to rest. I need to make sure that I can get through tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of the trip, and I need to make sure that I can get through it more than I can't rally right now. I just can't. So, damn it. The one time I actually want to go out, I just can't today. Anyways, I'm going to bed. Hopefully tomorrow I sound a lot better. Good night. Cheers and good morning, everybody. Sounding a little bit better, and I'm feeling a little bit better this morning, but still not at my highest form right now, but it's all good. I got some hot tea here, which I'll show you what I made this in. So while I was quarantined in July, you guys saw me using the hotel room coffee maker, which I don't like to use normally. They're always dirty. They never get cleaned, and I just really don't trust them. So while I was in quarantine, I was looking up alternatives for when I could bust out of quarantine so that I would never ever be in that situation ever again. So I got this on Amazon. It's a travel electric water boiler or water kettle, you could say. It's just a single serve, just enough for 1 cup at a time, called a Balbini. Like I said, I'll leave a link to everything I'm talking about in the description down below. But I've been using this for about almost 3 months, and I like it. I take it on all my layovers. It's just this and one plug. Woo! It's just that and one plug, and you plug it into the wall. Well, you pour the water in first, and then you plug it in, and you just open this top part right here to let the steam vent out while it's boiling, and it takes like 5 minutes, and it boils a cup of hot water. And I've been using it for tea as well as coffee, which I will show y'all probably in another video. Today is my last day of my trip. I have been asleep all morning. I really needed that rest. I have about an hour and change, maybe an hour and 10 minutes till I have to be back in the van. I didn't get up till like really? I didn't get out of bed till noon. Went to bed around midnight, didn't get up till noon. And I've just been resting and chilling and pretty much goofing off. There's no chance that I'm going to the gym today. My crew member who invited me out last night invited me out again today, and I'm so sad because I know that today we have an easier day, but I'm also thinking about after the trip when I also have to commute home. So I need to preserve as much energy as I can, and I just can't be walking around doing stuff. Yeah, I'm just drinking my tea here, have some black tea. And I also ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich earlier. That is like my go-to layover breakfast. PB&J is just so good. It's so good. It's so easy. And like I was saying a little bit yesterday, the main thing you want to do when you're meal prepping, especially with this job, is to just make stuff that's easy to grab, eat, fast, and then go, because you don't have a lot of time unless you're at your hotel on your layover. And I do also have oatmeal that I brought that I was going to cook, but I don't feel like doing that today. I just wanted to grab a PB&J, eat it, get some food in me, and go. I'm also gonna eat some soup. Y'all already know. Some soup cooking in the Hot Logic. It is almost done. I'm about to eat it, so I'll have one more thing to eat before I leave. You're an OG. If you've been here for a minute, you already know what I'm talking about. It's the organic split pea soup making an appearance. This has a permanent place in the vlogs, just so you know. Also have some crackers that I'm gonna have with it. These are really good. I got these at Trader Joe's. They're called called. They're like rosemary, cranberry type crackers. My mom had them at a party that she hosted a few months ago, and they were really good. So I bought them, and I've been buying them for like a couple months now. So I highly recommend these. But yeah, I'm just trying to stuff as much good food in me before we head out for the remainder of our trip. We just have 2 legs today. I also have 1 RX bar and just a couple little extra things that I'll show you, but we are almost done. We're on day 3 of 3 and we have spent what? $0.00 so far. I do want to make one more mention of one more thing. So it really got me through yesterday. I'm also going to take this. Let's take this now while we wait for the soup to heat up. But I want to show y'all this. I bought one of these for the trips just so I wouldn't have to go to Starbucks and spend like $7 on a latte. Y'all, this is so good. I can't believe I haven't used this before. So stock cold brew coffee. It has 160 milligrams of caffeine in it, which is about the equivalent to just a little over 3 cups of coffee, so what every flight attendant needs. And as you can see, there's still like a third of the bottle left. I drank the rest of it yesterday, but oh my god, I felt so good yesterday during our 4-hour flight. I thought that this was just black coffee with no sweetener. I didn't want any sweetener, but it does have a little bit of sugar. It has 16 grams of sugar in it. It says not too sweet. That's actually the truth. It's not too sweet. It could be a little bit less sweet for me, but if you're used to really sugary drinks, you're gonna think this tastes like water. Like it's not too sweet. So if you don't like stuff that's too sweet, I would highly recommend this. Wow, I'm gonna start buying these. This was like $3 at the store, and this really saved my butt yesterday. Shout out to stock cold brew. But quick little off-camera nose blow. I cannot wait to get better. I know I just need rest. Like, I'm not sick, but I am definitely on the mend. I gotta figure out the pool in the wintertime situation. So if anyone has any advice, leave it in the comments. If anyone wants to pray for me, send me all the good prayers. But we are gonna start off our day with this Suja organic vitamin D and zinc. Let's take this shot for the day. Good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good health. All right. I can't even smell it. I'm so upset. Cheers. Ugh, that burned. Couldn't smell it, but I can certainly taste it. Ooh, that burned. Does that have turmeric in it? With reishi and probiotics. What does that mean? It's got water, organic apple juice, pineapple juice, raspberry puree, ginger juice, that's why it was burning. Turmeric juice, that's why it was burning. Lemon juice, and ground black pepper. Okay, that explains it. So let me show y'all the supplements that I take to at least think that I'm protecting myself while working this job on the plane. So nothing crazy. I've been taking 1 tablet of zinc every day. My mom bought me this when I got COVID and she also got me this when I had COVID. So these are COVID care package items, vitamin C and zinc, and I've been taking these every day consistently for the last about 3 months. Felt really good. This has been the only time I've gotten a cold, so we already know vitamin C is good for you, especially if you want to try to prevent being sick. Zinc, I really did not know much about, so I had to do my research. Zinc is also really good for your immune health. It also helps reduce inflammation, and it also helps to heal wounds. So these two have been really good for me. Anywho, I'm gonna eat my soup. Y'all already know, y'all have seen the delicious organic split pea soup, and I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos, and then I'm gonna get ready and get out of here. All right, I am making good time today. I'm gonna finish packing up the rest of my stuff, and then I'm gonna go try to find some ice. Hopefully I can find some ice in the ice machine. That's one of the hardest things about this, is trying to keep your food cold. I would say 98% of the time the hotel rooms that we get have a fridge. If they don't, then 99% of the time there's a working ice machine in the hotel. I've never had both things. Well, I've had both things not happen at the same time one time, but then I went to like the kitchen at the restaurant and I was like, hey, I need ice. So can I please have some ice? You figure out ways to get ice to keep your food cold. Yesterday when the hotel's ice machine was broken, I ended up being able to get ice at the airport. The girls who know, you will find a way to get ice. You shouldn't worry about it, or you will find a way to keep your food cold. these things that I use. I would definitely get some of these. They're called Swiss Elite. I don't know exactly what these are called, but they are great. I have 2 of these. They remind me of like those things that cartoon characters would put on their heads when they would get bonked in the head. So you can order these. I got these on Amazon. All the flight attendants who meal prep have these. I flew with this boy a couple months ago, and he had some really pretty ones. They were like red and they had flowers on them. So you can get all kinds of colors, all kinds of cute little designs. Girls who know, but I would definitely recommend getting some of those. What I do at the beginning of my trip is I fill these up with water and put them in the freezer because I don't really have freezer blocks right now. I left them in a refrigerator at a hotel layover like 4 months ago, and I just haven't gotten any more since. So if you don't have freezer blocks, you can fill these up with water and put these in the freezer, and then this will freeze, and then you can put it in your lunch bag as an ice block. The ice takes a really long time to melt in here, and then after day 1, I just fill them up with ice cubes and put them in there with my food. I have a big one and I have a small one, and the great thing about those is as the ice melts, they won't like bleed, so you won't have like a watery mess in your lunch bag. It all just stays inside. You know what I'm talking about? If you put ice in like a plastic bag, the condensation will just like run all in your stuff and everything will be wet. So that's why I really like those. I would definitely recommend getting some of those for sure. But let me stay on time. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna find some ice, put it in my thing, get my food out the fridge, and then I'm gonna head downstairs to the van with plenty of time to spare. Let's do this. Day 3. So I'm guessing this is where the ice machine is supposed to be. Absolutely fantastic. I just went in the fitness center to fill up my water bottle. That's another thing I do. These fitness centers usually always have a water station, but this one didn't have that, but they did have cold water bottles. So this is good too, and it's spring water, so we are blessed today. All right, so I'm in Chicago right now. We're about to do our last flight of the day. I've got about 30-ish minutes until I have to be back at the gate, but I've got my water here. I want to show you guys this. I'm about to pour this into my water. I normally do this at the beginning of the day. This is a hydration drink mix wellness from scratch. I get all of my like electrolyte powders and stuff like that from this brand. So I threw one packet of these into my cart like a month ago just to try it out because I like all their other products, and wow, I was blown away, honestly. It's supposed to help you rehydrate, and I poured it into my water one day when I was at work and I was starting to get a little tired. I didn't think this was going to do anything, honestly. I thought it was going to do absolutely nothing. Poured it into my water, drank it, and I felt so much better. I felt so even and just even energy throughout the whole day. I didn't feel exhausted like I normally do. Like I am normally exhausted when I'm at work, especially if I don't have any caffeine. So this, I would highly recommend. I'll put a link for this down in the description as well. Wow, one of the best things. So now I keep these in the house. I take one of these for every day of the trip. So I've already had 2. And this is my one for today. So I just take one a day every day that I'm working, and it helps so much. I didn't realize how dehydrated I was getting I didn't realize how dehydration can contribute to feeling terrible all day. Because I drink a lot of water when I'm at work. I just chug water, but it doesn't seem to help. I guess I just kind of pee it out. And I think this helps you hold on to water. It has some electrolytes in it. There's no artificial flavors or food coloring in it. Non-GMO, gluten, dairy-free, kosher, and vegan. So all the good things. Yeah, cheers. Would highly recommend for all my flight attendants, or if you're just traveling, if you have a long travel day, get you one of these. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Lemon lime flavor, not too sweet. It just tastes like regular old lemon lime. Nothing crazy. And you put it in 12 to 16 ounces of water. I've got about 16 ounces of water right here. So yeah, cheers. That is probably the number one thing I would recommend for this whole video, this right here. I will see y'all at the gate. So it's about that time. One more flight to go. We're going from Chicago back to Newark, and I will see y'all there. All right, back in Newark. Survived that 3-day trip, that very long 3-day trip. It is 1:10 in the morning, and I'm tired. But my flight is at 5 a.m., so I'm headed to the crew room now to sit around until around that time. Then I'm gonna scurry on over to Terminal A and catch this flight back to Charlotte. So y'all wish me luck. I'm getting me a seat. I need to get home and rest. Please. See you in a bit. I promise you, if it was not for American Airlines, I would never, ever get home. She got herself a seat. and we are back home in Charlotte where we belong. Editing Lex is here with the blue light glasses, or you already know, the purple ones. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and found it useful. A couple things that I wanted to emphasize. The number one thing being, it is hard, I won't say hard, it is challenging to eat as a flight attendant. It's just challenging to find time to eat, especially when you have a trip where you have basically no breaks, which is pretty much what this trip was. You have to find pockets of time where you can eat, but you have to take care of the customers first. It is a balancing act. It's all about teamwork, and sometimes a lot of the time you don't get to eat as much as you normally would at home. One big problem that I struggle with is getting enough food during my trips. Sometimes I'll come home from a trip and I'll be 1 pound lighter, 2 pounds lighter. I'll have lost weight. I've been getting better at that over the last few months, but that was something that I really struggled with this year in particular. I'm more active, so I have to eat more food, and if I don't eat enough, I'll come home from a trip and I'll have lost weight. And that is not something that I'm going for. It's not anything that I'm trying to do. So I do my best. The shorter the trip, obviously, the easier it is to pack for it. I have an e-bag here. You'll see a lot of flight attendants with this bag. As you can see, it is battle worn. I've had it for almost 8 years, and it's still kicking, still going strong. It's a decent size. I have seen flight attendants with even bigger bags. This one cost me about $50, but it's definitely paid for itself over this amount of time. I have used it so much. You can get bigger ones. You can get different brands. I'll link to some below that I think are good, but I definitely think it's worth the investment. I would say a 2-day trip is like the ultimate sweet spot of where you can really pack a lot of food and get all your food for 2 days. 3 days is doable. 4 days is pretty much impossible to fit 4 days worth of food in a bag like that, especially if you're going to eat like you should eat. 2-3 days, kind of the sweet spot. Also, one thing that I did want to mention, fallen soldiers. Okay, this meal, this rice and vegetable meal, did not make it. I did not have time to eat it because I didn't have a break. So I'm going to eat this for dinner tonight. And also, I had a couple other things that didn't make it just because they couldn't fit in my bag. I had carrots that I brought that I normally eat with hummus, and I couldn't fit the hummus in my bag. I brought the carrots, but I didn't eat not one carrot because I just didn't end up eating any. I had some salsa that I brought for my vegetables and rice. It just couldn't fit in the end. I had to prioritize more important things. So, and a little bit extra rice that I made just didn't make it. So that's just the real. I'm just being honest with y'all. You can't always fit everything that you want to bring with you, but you do your best. And it's not a big deal if you have to buy coffee or a meal or two when you're out on a trip, but I would really encourage you to try to cook food at home and take it with you as much as you can. There's always an excuse for a reason why you can't do it, why you don't have time to do it. It is more of a challenge, or some people would call it a hassle, and that they don't have time, that they don't want to deal with, fumbling around with all this different stuff. But for me, like I was saying earlier, it's worth it. I'm worth it to make sure that I'm putting good food into my body that helps me stay awake, that helps me stay alert, that helps me to stay sane. What you put in your body affects not only your physical health, but also your mental health. Like I said, this job things can snowball. So not only are you eating out every single meal of your trip if you're choosing to not bring any food, then you're spending more money, which means you have to work even more, which means you have less days off. So then you go home, and on your 1 day off, the last thing you want to do is cook, so you order out again. So now you're eating out almost every single day because of this job. So you don't want to do that. That's how a lot of people end up, looking nice and cute on their initial badge picture, and then a year later, they're unrecognizable in a bad way. And that's absolutely no shade. I've had my phases where I've eaten out every single day. I've had my phases where I meal prep sometimes, but didn't do it most of the time. So you go through and you figure it out, but it is possible to do as a commuter. It is possible to do as a reserve. I've done it on reserve. When I was on reserve, I would get to my crash pad a day early, and instead of doing my grocery shopping at home, I would go to the grocery store right near the crash pad, get the groceries that I needed for my trip or for my days on, and I would just cook at the crash pad for myself and for my trip. So you just have to want to do it. And what I will say is pack things that you actually want to eat. When you're meal prepping for work, especially for a trip, now that is not the time to decide that you want to be healthy and that this is the time where you're gonna eat, vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, cruelty-free, dairy-free, all that stuff. Pack stuff that you're realistically going to eat, that you want to eat, that you're going to look forward to eating, or you're just going to waste food and buying more food out anyway. So now you're carrying around food, and you're sad because you know damn well you're not going to eat it, and you're spending money when you have food. So it's very depressing. We've all done it. Just don't do it. One more thing I will say, if you're feeling like you're having some health issues or you're just not feeling well, I would recommend looking at what you're eating. That doesn't always help everything. It might not help your particular situation, but my life has just totally changed from changing my diet. I used to eat out all the time, like 4 or 5 times a week, and now I eat out 3 to 4 times a month, only socially. And I think that's probably a realistic, appropriate amount of times to eat out, maybe even a little bit too much. But you know, we're so used to eating out so much here in the United States. We're used to the convenience. But this video, the inspiration for this video really came from people I know in real life hitting me up like, hey, what have you been doing? Do you really cook at home every day? People calling me. And I have been not okay since I was 14 years old, just in so much pain since I was 14. Not one single day went by that I was okay since then, until the last year when I've really changed my diet, and not just like somewhat changed my diet, but like actually changed it for real. And I have been able to experience 100%, not 99%, 100% healing ever since. So if you don't feel right, if you've been dealing with something chronic and you've been to doctors, they're probably not going to even mention your diet. They're probably not even going to ask you what you've been eating. They're probably just going to want to give you a bunch of medicine. But I would recommend changing your diet. Not everybody eats the same. I'm not saying you have to go vegan, gluten-free, anything like that. But for me, just having a healthy balance, my diet is mostly vegetarian and vegan. I would say 85% vegetarian and vegan. But if I want to eat some meat, I'm going to eat some meat. Mostly fish. But if I want to have a cowboy sushi roll from Nico's with the Kobe beef, which is delicious, then I will. But it's every now and then. That works for me. I don't binge eat sweets like I used to. I'm just a changed woman. So, but it took some time. It took me about a year to fully transition into doing the right thing for myself, and it hasn't been perfectly up like this. I've had a relapse or two. I got really triggered in March of this year, and I just ate a bunch of BS for like 3 days, and those 3 days cost me about 3 months of my life. So that's just, you know, a little part of my story. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but think about your diet. But I'm not going to preach to y'all. Everybody is different, but think about your diet if you're dealing with anything. All right, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. Maybe one day we can get into the actual breakdown of the costs of how much money you save versus how much money you spend eating out. I was talking earlier about how it's probably like $40 a day to eat like 2 meals from the airport or from hotels if you're just strictly buying your food and not bringing any food with you. I probably spent maybe $40 on everything that I brought with me for the whole entire 3 days. So there's that. But anywho, this video is getting very long, so I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your October. Y'all take good care of yourselves. If you like the video, you already know what to do. You know what to do. Why do we keep having to have this conversation? Go ahead and do it, okay? And I'm gonna finish editing the video, and then I'm going to wash my hair and pack for work tomorrow and go to my mom's house to catch up on House of the Dragon / spend time with her. Because she's got the HBO login, you know what I'm saying? I can't, I'm not, you know, I don't have that luxury in my life, so I gotta hurry up and finish all this stuff in the next couple hours. So I will see y'all very soon with another video. Take care. Bye.